Welcome back to the Save Room with me, Chris Miller, where we trim all the fat and give honest, entertaining reviews to keep you more informed. If you don't agree with my ratings, that's totally fine. I believe in freedom of speech, so I want to hear it. Let's argue in the comments. Today, I want to revisit a game that is near and dear to me, one that recently got a facelift, and I am so excited and honestly a little nervous to talk about it. Metal Gear Solid Delta, originally made by Hideo Kojima, but remastered and brought back by Konami. The community's divided. Is it a true one-to-one remake? Did Konami create a whole new experience, and should they have brought back Kojima himself? Let's find out. Metal Gear Solid Delta, love it or hate it, it is objectively one of the most influential games in the history of the medium. For this review, I'm focusing only on the 2025 version, but for new players, keep in mind, when this game launched back in 2004, and I do remember it, it was revolutionary. Kojima bottled lightning, and in this case, actual lightning. But nostalgia aside, I'm going to give this game the respect it deserves while also holding it to 2025 standards. For those new to the Save Room, here's how we score. G.A.S. That's right, G.A.S, and I'm not changing it. Gameplay, art, story, and then I multiply that total by a factor score. How did the game make me feel, Chris Miller, from 1 to 10? No IGN payouts, no influencer checks, no 10s for games that don't earn them. If it sucks, it sucks. Alright, let's get into it. First up, gameplay. Let's be really honest. Konami took the existing framework from 2004 and smoothed it out a little. The core CQC animations identical. Back then, they were mind-blowing. In 2025, they feel a little stiff. Yes, we get the updated over-the-shoulder view, and keeping the legacy camera option was a beautiful touch, but the control layouts on the modern scheme felt awkward at best. You can remap everything, but the original sliding R1, R2 windows, or whatever you want to call it, L2, L1, I don't even remember what they are anymore, honestly worked fine, and I couldn't replicate that comfort at launch. The boss fights, still iconic. The end, the fear, the boss herself, legendary encounters, but let's not kid ourselves. This is a copy-paste job. Same attack patterns, same animations. If you've played modern stealth games, you'll find the fights a little predictable. For newcomers, they're fun, but hardly groundbreaking. And then there's the codec calls. Exhaustingly long, borderline intrusive, but that's Kojima. He doesn't care about your pacing, he's here to lecture you on nuclear deterrence philosophy. Gameplay score 8.5 out of 10. Fun, tense, legendary bones, but for a new game in 2025, it just doesn't innovate. Art. Visually, this one is a huge upgrade. The jungle looks alive, dynamic lighting, detailed flora and fauna, texture sharp enough to make your PS2 cry. Atmosphere-wise, the Delta remake nails it. But, and here's where feathers are going to get a little ruffled, Konami reused the original voice acting. On paper, great, nostalgic. David Hayter's Snake is iconic, but when paired with the hyper-realistic modern visuals, the voice sometimes feels mismatched and some lines come off a little flat, even when the characters look like they're emoting. It's uncanny in a way that pulls you out of the moment. Music though? No complaints. Taken on the Shagohod is still on my gym playlist. The soundtrack is bombastic, cinematic, and uniquely Metal Gear. It's safe, sure, but in this case, safe works. Here's the problem. As a new game in 2025, it's gorgeous, but not fresh. It's the same voiceover, same cadence with next-gen coat of paint. Like, think of it like restoring a classic car's exterior but leaving the interior completely untouched. Still beautiful, just not fully modern. Art score 8 out of 10. It looks fantastic, but the recycled audio work really keeps it from being truly great. Alright, last up is story. I am gonna die on this hill. MGS3 has one of the most superior stories in gaming. Not just the series, gaming period. And unlike the gameplay or visuals, the story just doesn't age the same way. You can lift it straight from 2004 into 2025, and it's still going to punch you in the gut. You've got betrayal, love, Cold War intrigue, and one of the most emotionally charged finales ever. The boss is still one of the best written characters in gaming, full stop. And Kojima's flair for double, triple, quadruple crosses, peak espionage storytelling. I am a little partial to Metal Gear Solid 2's narrative for its sheer weirdness, but 3 is the game I'd hand to someone who asked, what's the best spy game ever made? But, and here's the ding, it isn't new. Let's just be a little honest. Kojima isn't here, he's off making credit cards or something. I'm totally serious, look that up. This is Konami's repackage of his brilliance. Story score, 9.5 out of 10. Nearly perfect, but not original in 2025. All right, the factor score of 8. Here's where I need to balance my nostalgia with reality. Playing Delta feels like stepping back into one of the most important gaming memories of my life. The weight of the jungle, the paranoia of being hunted, the heartbreak of the boss, all of it still lands, but I just can't give it a 10. Because as much as I love it, this is still 2004's game with a facelift. For me, the factor is an 8. Look, I know what most of you are thinking. Well, no shit, Chris. Konami said it was a 1-to-1 remake, and yes, I get it, but they're charging full price, and with deluxe editions, for a game that's 90–95% identical to the 2004 release. We have to treat it as a new entry. If your friend gave you the greatest burger you ever had in your entire life, handed you the recipe, and you cooked it yourself, should you charge for it and call it your invention? Probably not. Don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled this remake exists. I played the demo with my dad before the original's release, and it's still one of my most favorite memories of all time. But I can't let nostalgia alone define the score. So let's tally it up. Gameplay, 8.5. Art, 9. Story, 9.5. Factor of 8. That gives Metal Gear Solid Delta a final save room score of 208 out of 300. Well above Borderlands 4, but not untouchable perfection. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a classic, and this remake keeps it alive for a new generation. But if you're stepping into it for the first time, don't expect modern innovation. Expect Kojima. Treat it like a film, not like Call of Duty. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. More importantly, tell me in the comments, what games should I review next? Should we aim higher than Snake Eater, or should you guys make me torture myself and try to sit through a single-digit disaster? This is The Save Room. I'm Chris Miller, signing out.